This is Antiyoy, a strategy-based hexagon prosper and conquest game. In this video, I'm going to be playing community levels that 2 people commented down, and you watching can suggest levels for me to play in my videos too. Just make sure to watch this video and give attention to H versus I7. If you're about to click off the video, please leave a comment first and tell me why. I'm going to build a farm here, and my enemy has more income than I. Pun intended. My plan right now is to cut off the H from the right side of the map. It's to limit the H's room for economic development and potential competition, which right now I'm fiercely checking it. They still have more income than I do. So, I'm going to capture land around my farms to build a buffer. I don't think I want to take that hex. I want to stop purple from expanding, or the H from expanding to the right side of the map. So I got a spearman, which I don't want, and my 2 peasants will capture more land. Our incomes are now equal. They have more peasants, but I'm gonna negate that advantage. And they almost cut me off right here, but I'm gonna place down a peasant to stop that from happening. And they're going to try to flank around my wall, but look at all this undefended land right here. I'm going to be cutting off the H from the right side of the map, and I'm going to be taking all this. And I'm starting to surpass them in income. Next step, I'm going to take more barely defended land and split their entire kingdom in half, and with that, user level completed. And now we move on to the second level. Raiders are raided. You have to raid the huge boss at the center, but unfortunately, each of your army land is also raided by small enemy spores. This sounds like I gotta play it. And this is the first giant level that I've played. And just look at the size of this level. Whew, you just gotta take a moment to look. Alright. So I have 6 of these. They each have 19 income and they start with 25 coins. And my immediate plan is to build a house onto each of these, enacting some symmetry. And then my plan is going to be to use a strategy I used in like episode 3. I am going to hurt this spore, but not entirely destroy it, because I'm not going to take the time to. I'm going to quickly move to the other 2 enemy spores that are on my doorstep. And you can see here how when these weren't threatened, they built houses, but this spore that I'm attacking placed a peasant down, and that actually hindered its economic development. You might notice that there's these small cuts, and I'm actually changing around the base that I'm at. Well, I'm developing all 6 of my bases, but I record once per turn kind of interchangeably because they are really similar, and it would be like 25 minutes long if I were to show all of them. And so here I'm able to shrink it down a little bit and basically have the same information. And the information at my bases right now, there are spores that are coming at the side, which I generally build towers on, although I might try to experiment around to see what happens. No, I'm not experimenting that much. And then there's the next one I'm gonna be attacking. So I've already enacted step 1 of my plan, which is to basically knock out the back rank spore from the game, like I did here. They built a tower, and so they're kind of locked down. And yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Now you can see I panned over to the boss, and the boss is starting to branch out from the middle. A little bit concerning. All right, so yeah, there's all of the back rank spores that I've knocked out of the game, lock them in with a tower, and now we can see the boss is coming. They're coming from the middle. Right here, right here. Oh, yep. They're really coming for the bottom right one. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out the next spore. I'm gonna take out the next one over from the back rank spores. And oop, yeah, that was a that was a bad decision. Not taking out the spore, but leaving that undefended, and the boss is coming. And I think I actually want to wipe this out really fast. I want to wipe that spore out really fast so that I can focus on other things. Over here, you see that they build towers, and it makes it a lot more difficult to deal with them, but okay, I don't need to place my peasant over there. I got a tower. I'm about to wipe out the second spore over for that area. Now here's where I started to record multiple camera angles, multiple of my bases, because they are starting to diversify, and especially now that I'm gonna rush at the boss. I'm gonna start attacking the boss with my top middle base. So this is like the the Normandy landings. I should not be saying that. This is Antiyoy. Nah, just take that with a grain of salt. The boss is they're coming in on my lower middle base right here, and one of my spores, no, one of the enemy spores has got a baron already. Now, all right, over here I see another enemy spore to be taken out. All right, and I'm really struggling over here with that baron. Now over in the top middle area, I am doing serious damage right here. I'm gonna try to do as much damage as I can. Over here we see that the enemy spores are starting to fight back. And you know what? I'm just gonna ignore that guy for now. Why? Because he can't do much. Actually, yeah, that works. Meanwhile, on this front, I'm gonna let that baron, I'm gonna apply the logic from last time, or not. Let me think about this. I know what I'm gonna do. I want an economic reset. I'm gonna build a tower, and I'm gonna build 2 knights, which puts this province in the negative. Now for a mid-game checkup. How are my provinces doing? We can see the one that attacked the boss first has more income for land. This one has more income from farms. This one, about the same, but is in negative income. That one has a lot of farms. And so we see that the main difference is the one who attacked more and got more land could not afford money for farms, and by a significant amount. And it's really interesting to me that this level can actually teach us something about Antiyoy. I am going all out to attack this boss, but I do not have that much income to spare to deal with enemy spores that are now gonna be attacking my top middle province. Oh man. So, meanwhile that's happening, you can start to see more my old bases start to take different paths. Right now I just have all these spearmen and nothing to do, really. Now the battle has raged on. Let me see. This is the moment of truth. I'm gonna pick up as much land as I can, and then I'm gonna check the incomes. And I now have more income than my enemy does. And a little thing about Antiyoy is that if you have more income than your enemy, it's basically already over. So now I will have a brief summary of all the rest of this level. Here's a zoomed out picture of the map. You can see that, wow, what started off as all the same became all the same bases. They all wound up completely differently. The one that had overextended and attacked deep into the boss's territory, that one got crushed. It was the one that performed the worst. So that's one thing you gotta keep in mind. And we actually saw this happen during the stork fight back in episode 2, where I had tried to use a spearman like 5 times in a row, and they all failed, and I didn't learn, and I lost that. So now I'm just gonna start spending the 1,000 coins I have to end this. So that was the giant level. Raiders are raided. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm so glad I'm reaching Antiyoy fans with these videos. And remember what I said at the start of the video? You too can post down levels in the comments, and I will look at them, probably play them. You can get Antiyoy on Google Play. Just find some way to join the Yatoro Discord server. You know, I could just post an invite link to the description, but I don't know how people would feel about that. And if you want your level to be posted up to the users level section in Antiyoy, give your code, export your level code to Yatoro, and he will get your level onto Antiyoy for other people to play.